My friend, we have giant scoop here because we have new spy shots.
Absolutely. So in this video, we are talking about what looks to be the all-new Mazda CX-90.
Yep, one of our friends, Igor, he actually captured it driving down a highway in California.
And this is our website over at tflcar.com if you want even more details. But we believe that this is the upcoming Mazda CX-90, which has never been seen even in camouflaged variants. Now, the reason that we think that this is a Mazda, we'll get into, but first of all, this was captured in a very similar part of Los Angeles where we saw spy shots of the Mazda CX-50.
Yeah, and we were first with that too.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys, because you guys are, sending us these pictures and you guys are out there hunting prototypes.
So Igor is coming in hot today with these really great pictures. So huge thank you for capturing these.
Yeah.
Now, of course, manufacturers camouflage vehicles like this on public roads so they can do testing and validation. And there's a few ways that we think that this is the Mazda CX-90.
Well, the wheel is a first clue, right? Because I don't know if we can kind of zoom in here and take a look a little bit closer, but the wheels are kind of speak Mazda to me. This shot that Igor sent us, it's kind of a fisheye lens on the camera, so it kind of, this Mazda is really not a limo stretch, but you can kind of tell, and also you see inside the hub, you can see a little silver bit. I believe it will be a drive shaft, so this is an all-wheel drive machine.
Yeah, exactly. Now, let's talk about the CX-70. So previously in the Mazda lineup, you had like the CX-3, the CX-5, the CX-9.
Yes.
At one point there was a 7 in there as
Yes,
well.
yes.
But now Mazda's new lineup includes a 0 at the end. So like CX-30,
Yes.
CX-50
Yes.
instead of CX-5, and the CX-50 is more rugged. And then Mazda's already confirmed that they're going to be adding a larger CX-70 in 2-row and a CX-90 3-row to their lineup. And based on what we've seen out of these pictures, we believe that this is the 70 and not the 90. And a couple of cool things going on here. Now, in Europe and Japan, we already know there's a new model, probably not coming to the States, called the 60.
Yeah, the CX-60, you could see this right here. This is one of the shots of the rear end. And if we can kind of take this and look at the prototype, there's some similarities, especially like the windshield wiper, kind of the size of it, right, the proportion, and maybe even the lights.
Yeah, so the way this kind of tail light curves around the side here and then has this little continuation.
So it's another clue that this may be a Mazda here.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's the new CX-70, and we've talked to some other...
And here's another, this is Car and Driver. Our friends at Car and Driver had this from May of this year.
This is a rendering, though.
Yeah, this is kind of a rendering based on some of the other information they had. So this is another kind of look at the next generation of Mazda.
Now let's talk about some of the potential powertrains that this car could have. So it's supposed to debut with a new platform at the 2023 model year, and it should debut with either plug-in hybrids or turbocharged inline 6-cylinder options.
Yeah, which Mazda is really great with engines, right? They're very focused on driving experience too, right? If you speak to Dave Coleman from Mazda, he will tell you, the driver has to be, really positioned straight up in the vehicle, so they're involved with driving. And the plug-in hybrid is a cool new thing that I'm excited about.
Now, I've got the website pulled up here too over at TFL Car. I do want to point out some of those cool features. So in Europe and Japan, we do know some information on the CX-60 plug-in hybrid, and that is the power number. How much power does that engine make?
You mean the plug-in?
Yeah, so...
so they say 323 horsepower.
Yeah, and 369 foot-pounds of torque in European spec, and they also claim a driving range of about 39 miles on a single charge, which is pretty competitive.
Yeah, so if you look at the landscape, a lot of manufacturers are moving this way. In 3-row crossovers, also some 2-row crossovers as well. 39 miles is a competitive number, no matter which way you slice it, so I'm pretty excited for this. And look, Tommy, it has a hitch, which that's important to me as kind of a trucky guy.
Yeah.
So you could probably tow a bit of a trailer with this as well.
Now, the other thing that we've been hearing rumors about is an upcoming inline 6-cylinder turbocharged gasoline engine from Mazda, which could be a game changer. Now, this is going to be a large vehicle. It's claimed to be a 2-row, not a 3-row. The CX-90 is going to be the 3-row. but it could be kind of heading more upmarket, more up premium, and that's where having that inline six-cylinder turbo could be a pretty cool advantage.
And I think that's why this rendering has a long hood, right? And it's also, it's a style thing, but it's also, I think, could be to house that inline six. Many manufacturers are actually switching or have switched to inline sixes engines. They're very ultra smooth. Like Mercedes is using inline sixes in a big way. Now even Stellantis is going to an inline six. So that's huge.
Now I've got some Japanese specs here from the Japanese CX-60, and the engine in that vehicle is very dependent on the specs. So there's a gas 2.5 four-cylinder, there's an inline six-cylinder diesel, which probably isn't going to come here. There's a mild hybrid inline six-cylinder diesel, and then there's that plug-in hybrid. And all of them are mated to an 8-speed automatic. So it's believed that Mazda's aging 6-speed is probably going to make way for a new 8-speed automatic.
Yeah, and they're very methodical about this, right? They don't change their transmissions or engines much very quickly. I think that's good, because the reliability, durability, maintenance-wise, I think those are all good things.
Now, the old CX-7 was kind of an interesting vehicle, and it was an interesting size, and it had a version of, I think, like a 2.3-liter turbocharged engine, which
yes.
This was under the Ford era,
yeah,
which was known for blowing up a little bit. But the new one is going much more kind of butch, much more rugged. So that kind of old, sweepy Mazda design language is gone in a big way. And
it's a little bit more squared off. Yeah, a little bit more.
A little bit more squared off. And then, of course, CX- number 0 typically means it's a little bit more rugged. So let's talk about like the CX-50, which is a car we do know about.
Yeah.
Now the CX-50 is...
Let me pull it up while you're talking here.
So the CX-50 is a slightly more, how do I put it? It's a little bit more butch version of like a CX-5, right?
Yes.
And it's got a really cool turbocharged engine available in that unit, similar to the CX-5. And we've recently had it at the office. The interior refinements are incredible. The design changes are really, really good. And overall, they just knocked it out of the park with the CX-50 model. A little bit of black cladding on the side too, just to kind of make it look a little bit tougher.
There, bam.
Yeah, and then there's also the new off-road version as well.
Yeah, so, and look at the surrounding, the setting that Mazda has for this vehicle. So it's a little bit more outdoorsy, that's kind of where they're going. And actually, I love this style. It just makes it a little bit more rugged.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with that. I think the Meridian is the off-road trim, if I remember that right. And yeah, it looks cool. This one's got those cool little off-road tires and that roof rack and the Meridian trim.
And twin exhaust outlets and just a lot of coolness here.
Now Mazda has been just knocking
Hey, look,
out...
that's you.
Oh, I hate that. Get rid of that. Nobody needs to see that. Mazda's been knocking it out of the park from not only a design standpoint, but also a driving experience standpoint. So typically, even like the full-size CX-9 is the best driving car in a segment. Like I would drive that over a Highlander all day long, just because of the refinement and the experience and the chassis dynamics. Our buddy Dave Coleman, horse guy, is really, really, he's a buddy of mine. Is really nailed into the experience and the handling dynamics.
It's very important to Mazda.
Yeah.
And rider and horse is one, Tommy. That's the methodology.
That's the methodology.
You have to be connected to the vehicle as if you were riding a horse.
So pricing, we don't know much about pricing on what could be the new CX-70, but probably figure 50,000 plus for the nice ones because it's going to be a fairly large, fairly premium car. And then the CX-90, the extended version of that, could go well above that.
Yeah, so there you have it. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And as soon as we have more about this, we'll publish everything, official images, specs, everything.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching TFL Now.